Her name was Sarah, a girl with eyes that always seemed older than her age, eyes that knew too much for 17 years. But this story begins long before Daniel. It begins where small children learn to understand whether they deserve love today. At Sarah's home, love had to be earned, pleasing, getting quiet, being as convenient as possible. Because otherwise, yelling, silence, resentment, guilt. Her mother, Natalie, earned less than minimum wage. She argued at work, argued at home, barely made it through each day. Her stepfather, an alcoholic, gave nothing at all. She carried everything herself. And when Natalie told everyone she was raising her daughter with love, in reality, Sarah cooked for herself, survived by herself, held the home together by herself. A little grown woman in a child's body. It wasn't just poverty. It was poverty multiplied by aggression, by fear, by the feeling that you were the target, because criticizing a man was dangerous, and a child had nowhere to go. Everything Natalie couldn't say to her husband, she poured onto Sarah. You can't do anything. You make my life hard. I suffer so much because of you. And when a child hears this for years, she starts believing it's true. At school, Sarah wasn't accepted either, even though she was beautiful, very beautiful, tall, slim, fox-like eyes, the kind of beauty that at 20 is called model-like, but at 15 makes you a target. Girls didn't like her because she stood out. Boys were afraid to approach her because she seemed too pretty. And again, silence, loneliness, and the thought, something is wrong with me. And here it's important to say something people rarely say honestly. Beauty doesn't save you when you're not loved at home. Beauty only makes the hatred toward the mirror stronger. Because your mother never told you you're beautiful. Because kids at school laughed. And in the reflection, you only see what others have placed inside you. Sarah's world changed the day she met Daniel. He was 38, looked younger, gym, grooming, style. He behaved like someone who controlled his life. And that was new. No one in her world controlled anything. He was a blogger, 1 million followers. Sarah wasn't a fan of bloggers, but there was something different about him. Silence, steadiness, the way an adult man behaves when he doesn't yell, doesn't dramatize, doesn't make you guilty for every breath. Next to him, she felt, for the first time, safe. For a girl who grew up in chaos, the calm of an adult man is a drug. Sarah, for the first time, didn't feel like a burden, and he, for the first time, felt needed. But there was also his shadow. He liked younger girls. Because next to them, he was the hero. Next to an adult woman, he wasn't. Women after 25 are so demanding. They want certainty. But you're different. You're easy. Easy, not because she was careless, but because at 17, you still can't see the red flags. Their relationship blossomed quickly. He gave her small gifts, a flower, a dessert, something tiny, and she glowed, because no one had ever given her anything. At home, gifts didn't exist, only arguments and humiliation, and also money. Her mother didn't give any, the stepfather even less. Sometimes she went to school hungry. Daniel started giving her money, first for little things, then for lunch, then just because. It felt warm. But this would later play a cruel role in court. Everything fell apart the day her mother found their messages. A scream. Animalistic, wild, uncontrollable. You disgraced the family! He's older! I'll file a report. And then, tears, falling to her knees. Don't leave me. You're all I have. It was a narcissistic carousel. Aggression, guilt, victim, love, threats. Sarah decided to run. The only way. Court. She filed for termination of parental rights. Her cousin helped her. In court, her mother played the saint. The lawyer pressed on the most painful point. Why was an adult man giving a child money? And then Sarah said, for the first time, I survived the only way I could. No one gave me anything. And he was just helping. The court partially restricted her mother's rights. Sarah moved in with her cousin. After moving, she began spending more time with Daniel, living with him, sleeping next to him, feeling his silence. But with silence comes truth. He loved youth. Too much. The way he looked at other girls' stories. The way he commented, "Youth is something. They're real." And one day, he said quietly, "Adult women scare me. They know what they want. And I don't like when someone wants something from me." It was the main red flag. Their relationship cracked. The older Sarah became, the more passive he became. When she started asking questions, saying no, having her own opinion, he didn't like it, didn't yell, didn't fight, just grew colder. Because an adult woman is a partner. And with a partner, you have to look straight in the eyes, not down. The breaking point, messages with another girl, 18. The same words, the same tone, the same intonations. It was the death of the illusion. Sarah sat on the edge of the bed and said, "I want to leave." He didn't expect it. He was used to stopping her with words. But she continued, "I love you. But I see you didn't choose me. You chose my age. My weakness. The fact that I looked up to you. But I don't anymore." He was silent. And for the first time, she saw fear in his eyes. Not fear of losing her as a girlfriend. Fear of losing himself. He said, "I think I've never really loved anyone. I was hiding from responsibility. I was hiding from adult relationships, hiding behind younger girls, from myself. But I want to work on myself, because I don't want to lose you, not as a girlfriend, but as a person who showed me the truth." Sarah looked at him for a long time, and for the first time she understood. She was not small, not weak. She was a woman. "All right," she said, "but this is only the beginning, because I know who I am, and I will not go back to a place where they make me small." They didn't kiss. They didn't hug. They just sat next to each other. Two people who, for the first time, saw themselves as they truly were. And this wasn't the end. It was the continuation.